Guys, thank you guys for coming out. We really appreciate everybody. Believe me, we're very humbled by the fact that there's 20 people here. As you all know, I'm Doug. This is Dave. This is Rebecca. We've been doing this since February. We opened up, or not since February, since January. Dave and I made the agreement to buy the business in December, and we just kind of started small. Our very first rack that we built for the Rodents is actually outside. It was really kind of a bittersweet moment to move it out because it's kind of a nostalgic thing. But this really started because my daughter found Brian Barczyk on YouTube. And I did this 20 years ago when everybody kept ball pythons in aquariums and everybody maternally incubated, and we just didn't know anything about them, to be perfectly honest. There's no, the internet really wasn't what it is today. There wasn't the plethora of information, and it was a struggle. If you had a snake with 6 eggs, you were lucky if you got 2 to hatch. That's how bad it was 20 years ago, before anybody knew anything. But when my daughter discovered that and we kind of got back into this, we started buying snakes, and it's been a really fun hobby, and of course the community, right? All you guys are part of this, and what make this as much fun as it is. So the packet that you guys have there, the first few pages of it are actually a ball python tear sheet from Brian Barczyk. I do regard him as one of the best in the business. Some people don't like him. He does run a giant business. And when you run a business that size, occasionally you will have people that disagree with you. You will have people that aren't happy with what they've got, and he does his best to make it right. I've watched almost 1,000 of his videos. There are some things in that sheet that we don't practice. He has become a big advocate for the terrariums, which for us just don't make sense, right? You guys can see behind us, this rack right here, everything with the name tag, with a tag on it, there's a snake in there. So there's, I don't remember exactly how many are here. I think we have 49 pythons right now, ball pythons. We have an 8-foot red-tailed boa, and then we have 5 short-tailed pythons, and a king snake, and a leopard gecko. So we're kind of all over the place, but it's real important to have events like this so that you guys get to meet us and understand that when you message our Facebook page, oftentimes it's me responding, but I can't do this alone, and it takes all of us to make this thing work. So everybody that's been doing business with us for a while understands that when we started, when we expanded the very first time, this was the first big set, the ones with the red tape on them. It was the first big set of racks we built, and we were like, man, if we get 30 babies a month per tub out of there, we don't know what we're gonna do with all of them. Well, now we have 51 breeding tubs, and by Christmas we'll have 120. And then by this time next year we're gonna have 240.
So are you gonna be expanding to a bigger place?
No.
No?
We actually have this whole shop.
Oh, okay.
It's 19.6 by 46.
Oh, okay.
So it's just full of my crap.
Yeah.
So
that's understandable.
we put the wall in with the intention of turning this into a retail location, but we're not zoned for retail, so we can't do that. So then that brings up a couple of things that I want to talk about just with the business. We will be launching a website very soon, and you'll be able to buy your rodents on our website and schedule an appointment to come pick them up. And we will still have the, open hours, if you will. But anyways, if you go a little deeper into that packet, you'll find I kind of outlined the things that we're going to talk about. I kind of want to keep it sort of, to the point and concise, just because, I want to be respectful of your guys' Sunday. I realize it's a Sunday afternoon, it's the last day of the fair, and all that good fun stuff. So I'm going to jump right in. As you guys can see behind me, these are the Freedom Breeder FD10 tubs. These are awesome tubs. They're perfect for snakes up to about 500 grams. We use these tubs because they have a molded in water dish. We use these disposable deli cups, you drop them in. Actually, I have one that's set up. Put the substrate in it, the water dish in it, and your animals are fine. I've drilled holes in most of them or left a little bit of a clearance for airflow. Snakes don't need a ton of air. They do need some circulation, some air circulation. That's why the fan up there runs. There's a fan over there. And then the FB40s, once they hit about 500, 600 grams, I move them out of those tubs. This guy right here is set for a tub upgrade. So this is about as big as we let him get before we go to a bigger tub. In fact, in about a week and a half, when the bedding in there gets changed, we'll get moved to a bigger tub. So, so when your ball pythons are about this big, that's when you go to the 40s. All right, buddy. That's the way to go. So the SB10 is a 10 quart, right? So 2.5 gallons. The FB40s is not the next size up, they make a 20. But generally speaking, if we keep them in the 10s just a little bit longer, they'll eat when they get to this tub. Now, if you have a snake that is in too big of a tub, they will get defensive and they will not eat. And that's an issue, right? We always want our animals to eat. So if you find as you're moving your animals from one tub size to the next and they stop eating, put them back in the smaller tub. That's what they want. They feel insecure when they're in these bigger tubs. There's going to be, we put our hatchlings in these, and when we're all done, I know that we had some animals out earlier, but when we're all done, I'll show you guys the hatchlings that we've had this year, including the twins that we hatched. And then, kind of like let you guys really, I'll get in depth and answer any question anybody has about the rack. So, for keeping a collection of snakes, a rack is the best way, right? Everybody, some people that just have one or two terrariums work, they do. I mean, a lot of people do it. If you go to Petco or PetSmart, that's what they're going to set you up with. So, it's going to be what most people are used to, and I would recommend blacking out at least one side and possibly 3 sides. Ball pythons do not need light. They do not need heat emitters. They do not need infrared lights. They don't need any of that stuff. They need a heat gradient. So these tubs here have 6 inches of heat tape on the back. These ones have 12 inch. Now, I could have got away with 8, but I like the 12 better because your temperature fluctuations aren't as high. This whole thing is controlled by a thermostat. And I have the Freedom Breeder FB120x2 up behind there. Sorry, we ran a little short time getting everything cleaned up. But that thing runs this whole rack. And then this rack over here is actually run off of a $15 from Amazon thermostat that you can get for, it's called Jumpstart. It's actually the same one you guys have on yours. It works just fine. If you have 1 or 2 animals, or in that instance 10, as long as the heat tape doesn't, the wattage requirements of the heat tape don't exceed the wattage output of the thermostat,